Well, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everybody, all over Australia, in the US, in Europe, and in the Philippines, wherever you are so welcome. This is our last LymphoMation Zoom call for 2022. I cannot believe it. So time is flying. So what we thought we would highlight today, Rosie and I have been working together for quite some time now, and I just adore her so much. And we are both in areas where we are subject to patients with this ever increasing, ongoing, I would almost call it an epidemic of obesity and overweight. Now, why I highlight this is because with lymphedema, there are some serious ramifications. So I'm going to highlight a few, and then we're going to bring you some fabulous suggestions in case this is something that might be affecting you or your loved ones. So the factors that are important is with overweight and obesity, the development of lymphedema is increased. The complications of the management of lymphedema is also much harder. This condition of obesity and weight management and the epidemic and even the stigma attached to it, it does have far-reaching and devastating effects, and it can develop into a more chronic condition. So what we want to do is to give you some tools to avoid this taking place. So there are a few things that is really important for the patient. So for you out there, we need you to have a willingness to make significant lifestyle changes. Now, Rocio is going to share some really good tips later on how you can do this. Simple, easy ways to make the changes and start the process of reducing your BMI. That's the body mass index. Why I mentioned that is because in a recent study, there's a critical point of body mass index that turns your lymphedema from being well managed to being dysfunctional and irreparable. Now that is what is quite serious. So when your BMI reaches 50 to 60 plus, the damage already is taking place and has taken place within your lymphatic system, especially in your legs. So what is important there is if your BMI is not yet 50, my goodness, this is the perfect time to take charge and really bring that down as low as you can. 25, 35, 37, somewhere around there will make it much more manageable without damage taking place. And what is important is to keep it stable. So that is the one thing we want to do. The other thing we thought we might point out, that you are not alone. Did you know 1/3 of the entire USA population is in the category of obesity and morbid obese? 1/3, that's a lot of people. So you're not alone. And it's about you really learning to take charge and make the right choices as you move on. So that particular research was done by the British Journal of Healthcare Management. So if you want more information on that research, it's in that publication. So the responsibility, coming back to the implications, the responsibility for self-care needs to be taken on by the patient. And self-care means making the right choices. So I just thought we would touch on 3 other possible complications beside the permanent dysfunction. Diabetes 2, very high risk. Cardiovascular, very high risk. And the third thing is developing cancer. That's a high risk. So those 3 things can be avoided when we get out of that obesity and morbid obese category. The other thing is, once you're dealing with lymphedema plus obesity, the cost attached to managing your condition increases substantially. So we also want to help you manage your condition at a lower cost. So those are some of the things. So what I'd like to do now is hand over to our beautiful Rocio, who comes with a lot of experience, personal experience and knowledge. So over to you, my love.
Thank you. So I think there's a couple of things that you need to come to terms with. And it's the fact that you can still be in control of your life. You can still be in control of your health, and you can be in control of your diet. And so sometimes taking that first step might be a little bit difficult, but if you sit with yourself, make a mental mindset shift where you say, I'm going to do this. And let's start with little things. And one of the things that I like to talk to my clients about is the importance of planning your meals. Meal planning is very important because you can sit on a Sunday, write your whole list of what you're going to be eating throughout the week, and then make it when you have the time. So you always have something that is ready to heat up when you're hungry. And you don't have to sometimes go all these long periods of time without food, which creates then the craving. And then it takes you to a place where you make the not necessarily the best choices for you. But meal planning, I would say, would be very important. Within that meal planning, increasing your protein intake, increasing your veggies, and increasing your good fats. So your good fats are going to be your omega-3s, and a good balance of omega-3s and omega-6. Omega-3s are going to be found in fish and in fish oil, and you can take it as a capsule because you would have to eat tons of fish in order to get all the omega-3 that you do need. But our cells are made of protein, fat, and water, good dietary fat. And so if you are eating tons of carbohydrates, tons of packaged foods, you're not giving your body the fuel that it needs. So focus on increasing protein, increasing veggies, and then think about also fruits, and think about good dietary fats that are going to come from nuts, from fish, even from some of the protein, like the skin on the chicken, or, depending on what you prefer to eat. But focus more on that. And then leave aside anything that you have to just open packaged, because that has a lot of trans fats, and those fats are going to store in your body. And try to stay away from some of those carbohydrates. Sometimes it's hard to start to put things together on your own. So I am offering my services as well, if you would like. And I am going to have a wellness club that is going to meet online for 3 consecutive Saturdays through the month of January. With that, we also have a support group. And normally you feel more accountable when you do things in a group, and the loving support of our community and people that might be going through the same things as you will make it a little bit easier to make that transition, and to also understand that you don't have to do it all at once. You can go slowly and then implement this new routines, new habits. Have a talk with your family. Make sure that your family is also supporting you, and if they are behind you on the progress that you want to make with your health. And a lot of people like to use the new year to set up new goals, wellness, and this is a really, really good time to even start it before the new year. Just start it right now. If not now, when? Just start moving slowly towards it. You can find some of my information on my website, wellnessbyrocio.com. You can follow me as well on Margie's lymphedema group. And I also have a lymphedema group called Loving Yourself Through Lymphedema. And you can reach me. I'm available. I can help you. But this is something that if you can take control of it now, it's just going to change your life. And I think if you're at that point where your BMI hasn't reached the 50 to 60, take action. You have to take action. And I believe that once you get it going, you can reverse it. The body is miraculous in so many ways. Our bodies do so much for us, and we need to grow appreciation towards them, towards our body, and do what our body needs for us, because our bodies never stop working. And yet we really sometimes abuse our bodies. And imagine if you start giving your body what it needs, you really have a good opportunity to turn things around and take better care of yourself. Little things I do, and I know we're going to go through some of that, but little things I do, I always start my morning with lemon water. I drink celery juice, and that's every day. That's every day. I drink green tea. I stay activated. I eat healthy. I plan my meals the night before, and this is something that I've done for a very long time, and this is something that helps. And make sure that you're not just going through the motions. I think it's important to live mindfully and take your time to not only plan the meals, but plan your day. Don't just go wobbling, to this or to that. Just really have a mission and set your mindset that this is where I want to go, and stay clear. I think that's it. I mean, get enough sleep, drink enough water, move your body, exercise, swim, do anything that feels good for you, because you're going to oxygenate all of the blood, and that's going to come into all the cells, and it's going to renew your body. And a little bit can go a long way.
Rocio, you are so inspiring. Thank you so much for all those wonderful tips.
Thank
So
you.
I just wanted to check, when is it starting, your wellness group?
Oh, January 7th is the first day. January 7th, and then
And
we'll
what
meet the
time is
14th.
that? This will be in American time, yeah?
Yes, 12 to 2 Central Time.
12 to 2. So we'll work that back. Okay.
Yeah,
so
and it will be open for everybody to discuss, bring questions, learn, lots of great information.
It's the 7th, and then the following week and the following week, 3 consecutive weeks.
Yes.
That is fabulous. I'm going to make sure that's on the website so people can have a look. That's wonderful. Yes. Thank you so much. Now, I just thought before we go off, I wanted to just share with you, so there's a little understanding. This is the research that was given by that journal in the UK. This is the lady, one of the ladies, because it was done over 5 different countries. This lady was only 46 years old, and her BMI had got up to 71 before she went to seek help. And she left it too long. So 18 months later, her BMI dropped to 36. But just a look here, what happens when they did the photoscintigraphy. There was no difference. The lymphatics were still damaged. Even though she had lost all that weight, which was a lot, the damage done to the intricate lymphatics meant that even if she kept on losing weight, she would still have lymphedema and have to manage lymphedema for the rest of her life. So this is what I just wanted to share with you so you could have some idea. The other thing I wanted to share with you is on my lymphedema page on my website, which we'll just put into the chat here. I've just got a list there of the 20 tips, many of which Rocio has already highlighted. So 20-minute aerobic walk, we've covered that. The water, 2 cups of green tea a day, we've done that. I'll just check if there's any on there that we didn't cover already. Eat less with each serving, but do eat at the same times every day using a smaller plate. That's a very nice tip too. And as Rocio said, so do you mean more than 3 meals a day, Rocio?
Everybody should be doing 3 meals and 3 snacks.
Oh, 3 meals and 3 snacks. Okay, good.
Yes.
And don't you like
keep your blood sugar levels balanced? Because if you wait too much time between meals, you're going to have a roller coaster of blood sugar levels, and then the body's going to store fat.
Okay. Now look at number 8. Let's really ring that into the new year. No second helpings. We've got Christmas around the corner. No second helpings. Take a smaller plate, no second helpings. I love that. Number 9, as Rosia said, we need to be patient while cultivating these new habits. And how lucky are we to have Rocio with that fabulous 3 weeks to help us really get those new habits. I'm going to be on that call as well, Rocio. So Rocio mentioned in the morning drinking lemon juice. For those of you who can take and tolerate apple cider vinegar, that also helps with this regime. Eating eggs for breakfast will help you lose weight. Cut out sugar. That means 0. No sugars in anything. We don't want sugar.
Sugar, if I may say, if it helps you, which what I'm going to tell you is completely the truth, is poison. So it's like if you're putting poison in your body. It really is. It has absolutely no nutritional value whatsoever. And it really messes up with your glucose levels and insulin levels.
So tell me, does that include honey as well?
No, honey, if you're going to add anything to sweeten, you can use honey or maple syrup, or even some people like coconut sugar for baking. I don't do any sugar at all. I don't. I mean, I really don't. And I don't need it. I got used to it. But I understand if for somebody that is used to it, takes a little bit of time to break the pattern, and you might experience some headaches, and you might feel like, I don't feel good, because you don't have that sugar in you. And so, okay, if you need to put a little honey into something, just do a little bit, just so until you start to, kind of wean out of the sugar addiction.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Okay, this one, I also like this tip. Brush your teeth immediately after dinner, then you will not be tempted to have that late night snack, because we don't want to do that. One of the worst effects of weight loss is muscle loss. So lift weights, increase your protein, as Rosie has already said. Swimming after offers you great resistance workout. I encourage, as we have done before, we've done our exercise podcasts or interviews, swimming is really important, and there's another reason why. If you struggle to eat enough protein, supplement with a good quality whey protein. Eat consciously by chewing very slowly and completely. Put your knife and fork down. Don't think what I'm going to put next on my fork. Just put your hands in your lap and consciously, meditatively feel that food being nourished as you chew and swallow, so it can be absorbed better into the body.
I want to add something here too, because a lot of people, they don't necessarily put 2 and 2 together when it comes to what gut health is. And so gut health starts in the mouth and it ends in the colon. And so that's just one system. And it starts with the chewing and the enzymes that you will develop within your saliva. And the more you help the food before it gets into the stomach, the better your digestion is going to be. So the more you break down with your teeth, and the better care you take of your gums and your teeth and everything else around it, is going to help your digestion, which means you're going to absorb more nutrients. So that's, I mean, anything I eat, I'm just thinking also, just like you mentioned, just that mindfulness. Everything is vibration, everything is energy. So you can bring good energy into your food before you consume it. And then while you're consuming it too, not just eat while you're looking at your phone, not eat while you're looking at the TV. That's not mindful at all. In fact, you're not even paying attention to how you're chewing or what you're doing or how much you're eating. So stopping to send a good vibration to your food. And this is why people pray before you eat. That is part of that. You send your energy, and then you mindfully just eat and enjoy it. really like pay attention that you're eating. That is a really good point, Margie.
Bless you. That was so beautifully said, Rocio. Let's take that on board. I love that. So Rocio has already mentioned quality sleep. We know that's really a big risk factor of obesity. The last two here are the food addiction, which Rocio has already talked about. That's really important. And do not drink calories. So I know Rocio is going to have something to say here. Sugar in liquid form is the worst form of sugar. So all those carbonated drinks, ginger beer, sodas, all of those are a no-no. Rosie, I know you're going to have something to say here.
Yeah, take the time. I mean, really, you have to make your drink of choice water. You have to.
Thank you. Thank you.
It is the best thing for you. And as water, as water enters your system, it structures itself to move as it moves. When you think of a river and how it just moves and the water moves through the rocks, and you think of the ocean and how water needs to be in constant movement. So when you drink your water, just think about how you're structurizing that water within your body and how your cells are being renewed. It's like total cell renewal when you drink enough just water. If you want to drink anything else, take the time and read the label, and you'll see most everything is going to say high fructose corn syrup, or is going to say certain grams of added sugar. Added sugars are horrible. So you see it and you put it back. like really, you look at it and you put it back. Don't drink it, because it's really the worst for you, especially sodas and sugary juices. I mean, things that they might even try to sell you as healthy and good for you. You have to read it. You have to read the labels and tell yourself that my beverage of choice is water.
Rocio, I just love the way. Now we know why you studied nutrition. You are so passionate about sharing and teaching people how to take charge of their health naturally. So that is wonderful.
Thank you.
So this brings us to the close of our interview and our sharing today. I just wanted to highlight that our first interview coming up for January is going to be Wednesday, the 11th of January. Same time, same place, same Zoom number. Rosie and I haven't quite come up with the subject we're going to cover, but that we'll be placing in the group. And in closing, I thought I would just share this with you as a little parting message as we move into Christmas period and before we meet again. So this I'm sharing from one of my dear friends on the Central Coast here in Sydney, Cal-Ann Brand. She's a beautiful, she's actually quite a famous Australian country and 60s singer. She's absolutely wonderful. So she's this morning, this is what she posted this morning. 5 things that you need to do before you get out of bed in the morning. Express gratitude. Set your intentions for the day. Take 5 long breaths in and out. Smile for no reason. And forgive yourself for any mistakes that you made yesterday. So
I love that.
I'm going to put that in the little, and bearing in mind we're moving into Rocio's special 3-week program. What about that as one of our intentions is to tune into those 3 every day. We can think about that intention and how it's going to benefit our health. So from me here in Sydney, I'm going to wish you a very blessed festive season and Christmas with your family and friends, whatever you're going to be doing. Rosia, I love you so much and thank you
for being
here with me and sharing this wonderful time.
Have a happy holiday, everyone. Thank you so much. And I hope to see you in January.